Hi everybody, welcome back to the Freaking Jeep and Toys Garage. As you can see behind me, we've got the WJ out. Recently, Jeep has started, and Ram with the eco diesels have started fulfilling the recalls that they have for the high pressure fuel pump, and of course one of the Jeeps had to go in for the recall. So like many of you, I have a regular day job, and I needed to get to work. So I got this Jeep. You know, I've had it. It was a daily for a long time. It had just been sitting because the eco diesel is a little better on fuel. But I took it to work the other day, and about halfway home, it started pulling towards the ditch. This passenger side caliper is stiff or locked up. So figured I ordered one up, and it's a nice day out. We're going to do a little driveway repair. We're going to get the jack out, jack this thing up, take some wheels off, and we're going to dig into this and get the caliper fixed up. So let's dive into it. You'll see me breaking out some new tools. I got some stuff here for working at home in the driveway. Okay. You'll probably be seeing more of this driveway repair stuff from me. Some recent events have changed my locations here a little bit. Most of my videos in the past, you've seen, have been done in the auto repair shop, and I still at this point have access to the shop, but it is officially closed because my pal who owned it passed away. So that has kind of pushed us to going back to the basics, doing some driveway repairs. We're building a small shop here at home where we're going to be doing some tractor stuff, so you'll be seeing not tractor, garden tractor, lawnmower type stuff. More stuff like what you saw in the RX-75 video, the hot rod lawnmower for Wild Bill, aka Pops. We've got a bunch of John Deere 300 and 400 series tractors that we're going to be doing some work on, and got a couple of ideas for maybe a custom build along those lines. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. Tell your friends. That was easy. We got that off. Let's get the new one. Take a look and see what's here. I think we got a set. Try to keep a set of these around. Pretty cheap. Set of standard fronts, we can do that. And we got us a set of pads. Oh, looks like we're in business here. The off-road Jeep is getting new brakes. up front. Yeah, they're a little crusty. This one's got a crack in it. They've had some abuse. Let's put a new one on. Ooh, shiny. Get these all mounted up. How many of you guys torque all your stuff? I'm not saying it's a bad practice, but I've just been doing this a long time. I don't usually. I happen to know that with my long ratchet that's tight enough. Okay, here we go. Don't forget the squeakers. Doing these brake jobs is, especially on these, is pretty simple. I mean, there's some variation in bolts and stuff, but the caliper hanger bolts, those are 18 millimeter. My caliper bolts back here holding the caliper onto the hanger happen to be 17s, but they could be a 15 or 13. Easily done in the driveway in just a few minutes, as you can tell. Oh. Got us a new tool given to us by a viewer, longtime viewer. Happens to be my sister, who happens to be the one that has redone our introduction to make it look nice. We got us actually pretty nice here grease gun. How about that? Thanks, Chelsea. I figured since we've got the grease gun in hand, we might as well grease up all these other joints. Yeah. I already went through and did the suspension. There we go. We're all set. Good enough. Now we have to wait for the brake caliper to show up. Alright, as you can see, we've had a little change of scenery, right? We're back in the shop. I know what I had said earlier, you know, about doing the driveway repairs, and that will continue. It just happened that I'm at the shop today. It's actually been about a week since I started this video, because I ordered that caliper from the jungle and it never showed up. And of course it took a week before they would give me my refund, and I ordered the new part, which happened to show up the next day. Not the one that I originally ordered, the new one that I ordered, the replacement. So I was at the shop today. We were working on my sister's Mini Cooper. I didn't record that because I did a lot of swearing. I had to replace inner door latch cable. So I've never done that before, and if you ever have to do it, I would buy stock in swear words and some specialized tools. Actually, needle nose pliers that's about that long, and yeah, if you ever have to, there's some people out there with some good videos. I know, because I had to watch a couple of them. But anyway, we're going to get back to this. We're going to put a new caliper on and new rotor and pads on the off-road Jeep. And I got some bushings, hopefully, for the upper rear A-frame. This one has that Rancho suspension, or the rough country suspension on it, and it's been 6 years of use and abuse, and everything on it is original. And the only part that I'm having problems with, that I can tell, is these little bushings that go in between the body and the upper A-frame. So we're going to replace those. So I'll stop ranting in the middle of this video, and we'll get back to taking some wheels off and getting to work. I just assembled this with some, like, the best parts that I had between the two front brakes. Just to get me by. I had to put it together, get it out of the way in the driveway, and then to get it here to the shop. So this caliper is really stuck. I left my big C-clamp at home too, so see what we can do here. I should have brought my big one. This is really stuck. I may have to go get the ball joint press for this one. There we go. Now it's moving. 2 C-clamps though. These are a little weaker than that big one that I got at home, so. When it comes to these C-clamps, especially a big one, you can buy a cheap one, but you're better off spending some money and getting a good one. You guys remember what size that was? Get that caliper off. Yeah, that's right, 17. Okay. Okay, here we are at the messy workbench because, well, we're doing a lot of cleaning and sorting here. Looks like a brand new one. Nice shiny. Got a little bit of brake hardware here to put on it. Those clips have to go on. Now this looks like it's electroplated, so I'm guessing that it's supposed to be resistant to, somewhat resistant to rusting or corroding, but I use anti-seize on these points where the pad things go. Mostly because that's where the rust tends to build up, and this stuff will help kind of curb that, for at least for a while anyway. Now, you may not need to do this depending on your weather. See, I live in the Midwest where we get this thing called winter. We get snow, and to combat snow, our state puts a lot of road salt down. And that road salt is very corrosive. Which is why when you see our Midwest vehicles, you can just about see through them after 10 years because they're Swiss cheese. And of course this off-road Jeep has gotten pretty much to that point. So at some point we're going to have to, in the near future, start building a different one. I got a rust-free body though from North Carolina that we're going to be building into an off-road Jeep here at some time. Probably in the next shop though. Got that nice shiny new rotor like the one from the other side, and the one on the other side. Hanger bolts. Okay, got us some new pads for this side. Gonna be nice stopping like this. Won't have to worry about changing lanes every time I tap the brake pedal, which is kind of what this is like right now. If you've ever had a caliper that got stuck, that's what it's like. It's just no fun. This one happens to be kind of stuck on there, but not too bad. Clean them up a little bit. Bolt. We got a copper washer on there. Gotta be careful with the impact tightening those. You can break them off pretty easily. I'm a trained YouTube professional, whatever that means. Now I'm going to crack this bleeder and let it. I took my clamp off the brake line, so we're just going to let it gravity bleed here for a moment. Well, I shut the camera off for that, but it literally only took maybe 30 or 40 seconds and it was dripping. Tapping on it breaks some air bubbles loose that might be stuck to the inside. Then they just float up to the top. You could vacuum, or most of you would have somebody just pump up the brakes and let it squirt out, which is a good idea. I don't have anybody here to do that, so I'm going to go push the brake myself, pump it up a couple of times, and then we'll come back and brake her loose. the last little bit of air out of it and we should be done. Just like that, all the air's out. That's good to go. Alright, I got you set up under here. I gotta take this A-frame upper control tri-link, I don't know what they call it, or what you guys call it. I gotta take that out. I'm gonna replace these bushings. They look somewhat okay, but they're starting to tear, which means they're starting to go bad. We got the parts, we're just gonna fix it right away. When I put this together, knowing that I live here in the Midwest, I used a bunch of anti-seize on these bolts. Some say you don't want to because it screws up your torque figures when you're torquing or tightening the fasteners, but sometimes you have to give a little bit in case you want to take it apart later someday. That one's tight. I think some of these I put in with the impact, which is a lot simpler than trying to turn them out with the ratchet, I think. Look at this. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Now when you take these bolts out, this axle is going to move around because the spring pressure. Pinion is probably going to drop on it too. There's nothing there to support or position this. I have a transmission jack under mine. I've got it up on the hoist, so that will help. Otherwise we'll probably use some ratchet straps or whatever possibly to position it to put it back in. If we need to. Oh, there's a nut on the back. We're going to, I took these brake lines off. I'm taking this brake line off right now. Trying to find a size for the nut on the back there. Looks like that must be a 10. Or 11. Back to trying a 10. I think it's a 10. Yep, it is. Feeling really uncoordinated today. This bracket is really tight to the bolt, head bolt, and to the head of the bolt. So you're going to use the vice grips here, just hold on to it. and struggle with the rest. There we go. Okay, that's my brake line. Now we just gotta get these out. 15 and I think we're set. I cannot stress enough how much putting anti-seize on these bolts will save you someday. Like now when I'm trying to take a very rusty old Jeep apart. You break these off in the body, you're going to be wishing you didn't. You're going to be hating life, I can guarantee that. I've seen somebody do it before. Alright, I'm going to get this out. Pry bar. A little pry down on the bottom mount. Now it's broke loose, and we can slide it out. I want to say I've had this out maybe like 3 years ago because I had to tighten up the swivel joint on the end. It was a little bit wore out and loose, but it didn't need to be replaced. It just needed to be greased up, and the original tool used to tighten the packing on it a little bit. So I'm going to take this down and get you guys out of the way. Alright, I did some work off camera. Took this apart. I had to clean up the flex joint for this, and I lubed it up. I don't have a cameraman. I use a tripod, so it was kind of hard. I would have needed 3 or 4 hands to do the job. So unfortunately you guys didn't get to see that, but take my word for it, it's all cleaned up, all lubed up. It's still the original joint with 50,000 miles on it. We'll buzz these all back down. Okay, those are all tight. Next comes the fun part, trying to weasel that control arm in there, which is now outfitted with new ball joints, or flex bushings, body side bushings. The body side bushings I use TRW replacements. There's, for this rough country, is actually uses stock factory bushings, so thank you, rough country. That's one started. Well, that one wants. We don't need that on now. That's noisy enough. There we go. There we go, got that one started. There we go, and we're up there nice and tight. Now we can get this lined up maybe. I need a screwdriver or something here as an alignment pin. Sometimes you just need to muscle it in there. Or you need 3 hands to muscle it in there. I have an alignment punch, pry bar kit. There we go. Sometimes you just need the right tool for the job. Okay. That's nicely in place where it belongs. Washer on there. And we can put this nut. That one. Now all I gotta do is hook up a couple of these lines that are hanging here and we are all set. All right, we got that upper control arm all locked in place. All the bolts are tight. I hooked up the brake cables, emergency brake cable brackets, and the one for the hydraulic or for the rear brakes. Everything is greased up. It's ready to go. We're gonna let this thing down and I gotta get out of here and go home. I'm hungry. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Make sure, build it bigger, better, faster, but just build it. Bye.